one of the best ways to start understanding English grammar so that you can work on your writing and understand what problems you might have, understand how to make it better, is to understand grammar, of course, and to do that, one of the best ways to understand grammar is to diagram sentences. Now, this is something that has fallen out of favor, but it's now making a little bit of a comeback. So let's see about diagramming sentences. Now, the first thing, we have to start with a small sentence. The smallest kind of sentences that you can have would be two-word sentences, with the exception of commands, one-word commands like stop, but let's one step at a time. Be a short sentence, two words, subject and a verb, such as rainbows appear. Now, because this is a strain, grammar is a threatening topic, I'm picking a cheerful kind of sentence to make us comfortable. Okay, so the first thing we do when diagramming sentences is we draw ourselves a line. We call it a baseline. Now, what goes on this line, first of all, what goes on the line, first of all, is the subject. And if the subject, as it is here, is a noun, person, place, or thing, rainbows, we put rainbows here on the left. Now, when we come to the end of the subject, and the subject here is just one word long, we put a line through the baseline, all the way through, to designate the importance of this break between subject and verb, and we put the verb to the right of this, this line you have descending through the baseline. So the verb here is appear. And that is the complete diagram of this very simple sentence. Rainbows appear. But we can go on with things we've learned already about adverbs and adjectives. Supposing we add some words here. Supposing we have, we've got to get rid of the capital here because I'm going to put a word in front of this. Bright rainbows appear. Bright rainbows appear. Well, now, when we have modifiers, because that's what we've got here, bright is modifying rainbows. What kind of rainbow? Bright rainbow. Bright is an adjective, modifying a noun, as adjectives always do. What we do to designate modification in diagramming is we descend this way, diagonally, from whatever is being modified, and we write the modifier on that line. Bright. Bright rainbows appear. So that is the diagram for the sentence, bright rainbows appear. Well, supposing we added yet another adjective here. Big. Big, bright rainbows appear. This sentence is just getting better and better, more and more cheerful and exciting. Well, now what we do is we simply add another line descending from the noun that's being modified by big in this case, the adjective big, and we have big, bright rainbows appear. So there we have added something to the diagram. Now supposing we can go even further. Supposing big, bright rainbows appear often. Often. Big, bright rainbows appear often. Well, often is modifying what? Well, it's saying appear, here's the verb, appear, when? Often, that's when, or how, for that matter. How do they appear? They appear often, that's how. So we have descending from the verb here, it looks just like the line for the adjectives modifying the noun. We have the adverb, often, modifying the verb appear. And I'll do one more to really astound you. Supposing it's very often. Big, bright rainbows appear very often. Well, now we have very modifying often. How often? Very often. That's how often. So it's an adverb, it's modified often. Now, as we see, adverbs do this diagonal descent, but you don't have a straight line to descend from diagonally from often. So what we do here, and this is a little tricky, we come out from often and then do our diagonal line, which is parallel, very often. So here is the diagram for big, bright rainbows appear very often.